When you think of American holiday traditions, one sweet treat immediately comes to mind: the classic gingerbread cookie. From intricate houses to little smiling men, gingerbread has become a symbol of warmth, celebration, and nostalgia. But beyond the sugary surface lies a rich, surprising history filled with secrets you probably didn't know. Today, we're unwrapping the unknown facts about American gingerbread cookies. Gingerbread's story begins far earlier than America itself. The concept was brought over by European settlers, particularly the English, who had their own versions of gingerbread fairings, spicy cookies sold at fairs. But did you know that in colonial America, gingerbread cookies were used for far more than just dessert? They were political tools. In the 18th century, bakers in Virginia would mold gingerbread cookies into the shapes of famous politicians' heads, both to celebrate and to mock them. Political satire, in cookie form. One key difference that shaped American gingerbread was molasses. Unlike Europe, where honey was often used, molasses was abundant and cheap in the colonies. This switch gave American gingerbread its distinct dark, rich flavor and chewy texture, setting it apart from its European cousins. Gingerbread cookies weren't always shaped like little men, either. Early American bakers preferred hearts, animals, and stars, symbols of love, luck, and guidance. The gingerbread man we know today didn't become popular until the late 19th century, partly thanks to children's literature like The Tale of the Gingerbread Boy, first published in 1875. Another fun fact: while gingerbread houses are often thought of as purely German in origin, Americans made them even grander. In the 1800s, it became fashionable among wealthy American families to construct enormous gingerbread mansions during Christmas, often bigger and more elaborate than anything seen in Europe. In fact, some early records mention gingerbread displays that were so large they required scaffolding inside homes. And here's a little spice secret: the American version of gingerbread is often spicier than European versions. Colonists loved strong flavors, and many gingerbread recipes called for hefty amounts of ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and black pepper, a fiery kick that modern recipes often tone down. Some 18th century recipes even included a touch of mustard for extra heat. Today, gingerbread is not just a sweet treat, it's an art form. Across America, massive gingerbread competitions are held every year, with some displays covering entire rooms and weighing hundreds of pounds. The Guinness World Record for the largest gingerbread house was set in Texas in 2013. It covered 2,500 square feet and was big enough to walk through. Gingerbread was once prescribed as medicine in colonial America. Gingerbread wasn't just dessert, it was considered medicinal. Doctors and home healers often recommended gingerbread to soothe digestive issues and warm the body during cold winters. The spices, especially ginger, were believed to stimulate blood flow and aid in digestion. Early American gingerbread was sometimes savory. Not all gingerbread was sweet. Some early American recipes added bacon fat or lard instead of butter, creating a savory, spicy bread. These versions were closer to today's spiced flatbreads than to cookies. George Washington's mother had a famous gingerbread recipe. Mary Ball Washington, George Washington's mother, was famous for her soft gingerbread. Her recipe, full of molasses and spice, became a treasured part of Virginian culinary tradition and is still recreated today in historical kitchens like at Colonial Williamsburg. Gingerbread fairs were huge social events in early America, especially in New England. Gingerbread fairs were major social gatherings. Vendors sold elaborately decorated gingerbread shaped like animals, flowers, and even religious symbols. Receiving a gingerbread cookie at a fair was considered a token of affection or luck. Some colonial gingerbread included alcohol. Early gingerbread recipes often included rum, ale, or brandy. Alcohol not only added flavor but also helped to preserve the gingerbread for long journeys or winter storage. African American cooks shaped gingerbread traditions in the South. Enslaved African Americans were often the keepers of gingerbread recipes. They adapted traditional European methods, using sorghum instead of molasses in some regions, and adding local spices. Their creativity helped shape the flavor and texture of American gingerbread we love today. The oldest gingerbread cookie recipe in America dates to the 1600s. One of the earliest known American gingerbread recipes was found in a 17th century cookbook, where it was described more like a thick, spiced loaf than the crisp cookies we know today. The dough was so dense that it was often pressed into wooden molds instead of rolled out. Gingerbread was a symbol of status in early America. Being able to serve gingerbread at your table showed that you had access to expensive spices like ginger, cinnamon, and cloves. Spices were costly luxuries, so gingerbread was often reserved for special occasions or wealthier households. A secret ingredient: black pepper. Some of the spiciest colonial gingerbread recipes included not just ginger, but black pepper to give it a real bite. Today, black pepper is almost never included in modern gingerbread cookies, but it was a common addition 200 years ago. Closing scene: kids laughing and decorating gingerbread cookies. So the next time you take a bite of that smiling gingerbread man, remember, you're tasting a piece of history, a sweet, spicy tradition that has been shaped by centuries of culture, politics, and creativity.